Welcome to this explainer on hidden architectures. I want you to listen closely for a second. What if I told you that right now, exactly where you're sitting, there are invisible systems completely surrounding you? I mean, systems that are silently deciding where your food goes, how whole cities move, and, well, even how your very thoughts are shaped. We move through these invisible architectures every single day, but you've probably never actually seen them.
It kind of begs the question, what if you've never actually seen the real world? Just imagine, for a moment, these hidden forces that perfectly shape the movement of an entire city, orchestrating the daily lives of millions of people without ever revealing themselves to the naked eye. Sounds a bit like a mystery, right?
Let's start with Section 1, the world you see beyond the surface. Take a look at the familiar visible world around you right now. You see roads, cars passing by, buildings reaching up into the sky, people walking on the sidewalks. But that's really just the surface layer, because underneath all of that concrete and underneath your normal daily routine, there is something much, much bigger, something completely hidden from view.
Now, imagine this scenario for a second. Think of a sprawling, bustling city where absolutely no one is in charge, but everything still works perfectly. No traffic lights directing the flow, no bosses giving orders, no instruction manuals being handed out. I mean, it sounds totally impossible, doesn't it? How on earth could any complex civilization actually function without some kind of master plan?
This brings us to Section 2, the ant city analogy, millions building together.
What's truly fascinating here is that this impossible city already exists literally right under your feet. It's built by millions upon millions of ants. In their underground cities, they build these vast, complex roads. They actually farm their own food. They even solve intricate traffic problems that would frankly baffle human engineers. And here's the really staggering part. Not a single ant actually knows the master plan. There's zero central architect telling them what to do.
Instead, the genius lies in this astonishing simplicity. Each individual ant only follows 3 very basic rules. Step 1, follow the scent. Step 2, carry food. Step 3, avoid danger. That's it, nothing more. Yet, when millions of them follow those exact same rules together, they create something flawlessly organized.
Moving to Section 3. What is a system? Simple rules, complex order.
So what exactly are the mechanics behind what we just saw with those ants? How do such simple rules create that level of complex order? Well, the crucial point comes down to this definition. A system is simply when simple things follow simple rules, and in doing so create something much, much bigger than themselves. This straightforward equation is basically the secret to perfect organization. And as you'll see, it's a mechanism that definitely doesn't just apply to insects in the dirt.
Let's look at Section 4, our invisible networks, the systems around us. Zooming out from biology for a second, those ants are really just one small example. Look at the massive human infrastructure that surrounds us right now. There are hidden networks everywhere, constantly working at this very moment to keep our world functioning. We've got the internet, silently sending global messages across the world in literal milliseconds. And it's not run by some master planner, but just by simple routers following basic rules to pass that data along. We have these massive ocean cables carrying videos deep under the sea. There's the immense power grid, lighting up entire cities at the flip of a switch, simply by balancing electrical loads based on simple physical protocols. And hey, even closer to home, your own brain is firing billions of signals every single second based on fundamental chemical triggers. You don't see any of them, but they are always working.
Which brings us to Section 5. You are inside it, the giant invisible network.
Now here is where it gets profoundly interesting. Peeling back this final layer, the real realization isn't just that these systems exist out there in the world, it's that you are actually inside them. Just think about your daily routine. Every time you perform a mundane action, like watching a video, eating food, or traveling somewhere, you are seamlessly integrating yourself into a giant invisible network. You're making decisions, you're following patterns, honestly, just like the ants. Most people will go their entire lives only seeing what's right there on the surface, completely missing this underlying reality. But the real world is built entirely on these 3 things: connections, patterns, flows. It's millions upon millions of decisions happening simultaneously, constantly, without anyone even noticing the grand design.
The real power of seeing systems, this whole perspective shift, is the immense practical value it brings to your everyday life. Because once you actually understand systems, you literally can't unsee them. You suddenly start noticing the patterns everywhere, you understand exactly why traffic happens on your morning commute, you see the actual root cause of why things break, you begin to grasp why some systems work absolutely perfectly and why others, well, inevitably fail. And it's all because absolutely everything follows patterns.
So, the very next time you walk outside and look around, I want you to remember this explainer and just ask yourself this final question. Are you just standing in a city, or are you actually part of a living, moving system? You're a part of something so much bigger than you think, and there are just so many more of these hidden architectures out there, silently waiting to be discovered.